Plat.
Okay, so I think we're going to start off and talk about Cuphead and the new trophy exploits that have been discovered there. I think it's a really good place to start because it opens up a pretty broad discussion about, you know, trophy difficulty, trophy
ethics.
Yeah,
Ethics.
The ethics of trophy hunting is kind of what we're all about.
We're very ethical when it comes to something so serious on this channel. So essentially Cuphead, which was deemed a badass big dick platinum, has now been downgraded to exploitive and easy and not legitimate because of an exploit in which, how does it work exactly? You need to join your friend's game, fulfill one of the conditions, and you unlock the trophy. So for example, instead of having to do 20 or 100 parries, you can just do one and then you unlock the trophies. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm still a little bit unclear myself. I haven't actually played Cuphead yet myself.
Neither have I.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely on my radar since it joined the PlayStation, but I suppose I might wait for it to go on sale. I'm a little bit unclear on how the mechanics of the exploit work, but I think maybe the broader point here is that this now opens up the trophy to a lot of people who didn't get good.
Yeah, it reminds me of Save Scum on PS3. Like that used to be the ultimate thing, where there used to be sites where you could download save files, say like for FIFA or just a whole range of games, and then it like auto unlocks the trophies.
Yes, yeah.
So I haven't seen too many things on PS4 like that. I feel like save files are so tied in with like your PSN these days that maybe it's harder to get around.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the whole thing, I find it kind of funny, to be honest, that there is gatekeepers of this platinum, because I mean, what is the value of platinums anymore, really? I mean, Radalika have completely warped what it means to like get a platinum in a games, because now like the platinum itself isn't of value. It's more like the game in which you get the platinum that people kind of look to now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. There was we've been playing PlayStation, I suppose, our whole lives, and been getting trophies since
since the year dot. Yeah. I remember that Uncharted trophy patch. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, that's stupid.
I think Call of Duty World at War was my first trophy that ever popped for me, but
hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm king, and they know it. When I snap my fingers, everybody says sure. I'm hot, and you're not. But if you want to hang with me, I'll give it one shot.
Plat back.
But yeah, I think that's the broader point here, is that there has been definitely like a devaluation in platinums, because they used to be a little bit more revered and maybe a little bit more difficult to get. I think we discussed that before, where shorter games would just not be even allowed to get a platinum trophy, for example.
I don't know, like, what are Sony doing? Like the whole thing with trophy hunting is that it's a niche within a niche, almost within another niche. I mean, the gaming community at best is already somewhat self-hating, a little bit of a negative mindset, so they complain about the smallest facets of games or sequels that don't live up to expectations or whatever. But then there's this other demographic that I do kind of fall into, where they complain about the trophy lists of such games, when the vast majority of people just don't care. Like, they just don't care. I don't know why we care, but
we care.
I like... I'd be lying if I said I don't care. There's a little element to it when a new game comes out. It's like, oh, I'm going to check out that trophy list and just see,
Absolutely.
Because I know I'm going to want to get the platinum eventually, especially in games I love.
Yeah.
So you've got this thing where, like, on PS3, I remember just, say, games like Flower or Journey or, other kind of small indie games would never get platinum. And that's like, no, because, it's not lot enough to justify
Yeah.
you know, getting a platinum.
And I believe that was, you know, that was a Sony
That was a Sony
mandate.
news.
You know,
Yeah,
there wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't allowed to have a platinum if it didn't, you know, maybe have enough playtime hours.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and-
or enough variation for like a different range of trophies, or like whatever the reason. But then you got games like Resident Evil 4, as you pointed out just before we started recording it, like that didn't have a platinum. Like why?
Yeah.
And then like even on PS. Later on in life cycle, I remember Walking Dead season 2.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
it was
split up.
it was
Yeah.
split up, and then it didn't have a platinum, even though the first game in the series did, and it was probably the same length, if not longer than the
Yeah.
first. Like there's no real rhyme or reason, and I feel like the PS4 has seen the rise in the Radalika games,
Yeah.
where not only are they just being pumped out and they're super short, but there's like 3 versions of each list
Yes, yeah.
across, so it's region stacking on top of easy plats.
Yes, yeah, and I think there's probably, you know, we can't put all the blame on Radalika, for example, as one publisher,
Yeah.
but there's definitely
They find their niche.
there's a lot of different publishers that do the same, that have these games that do offer trophies, I suppose at a cost, you know. It seems, you know, you put in 15 minutes work and you get a platinum, potentially multiple platinums even. You know, it opens up the broader argument there of, you know, what it is worth, you know.
And do you think that that's an exploit in Cuphead, or like where, like from a moral point of view, in terms of trophies, do you think that that would be considered an exploit or a hack or something to remove you from the leaderboards? Because I've seen that kind of discussion. I've been kind of from a distance reading through the threads of what people are saying about this. I find it quite surprising that it's so venomous. Like I'm kind of just in the middle, just going that I don't really care. Like it wouldn't be something that I go out of my way to do.
I know.
I just want to maybe play Cuphead at some point and just go for it, you know.
Of course, yeah. Well, you know, I think we discussed as well that it's unclear how easy this exploit makes the game still. I think maybe it's going to put the trophies in people's hands who didn't, you know, fully earn them themselves, maybe.
Yeah, the rarity went up, I think, like 10% in like a weekend.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big jump. You know, there's 2 sides to the argument, and I appreciate both. You know, I think on one hand you have people who have put in the time and the effort to get the platinum, to get all the trophies, to get the 1000 gamer score. You know, it's you can appreciate that if someone does that work and then gets the, you know, it gets completely devalued by, and you know, there's no way of maybe differentiating between someone who earned it legitimately and who didn't.
Yeah.
That's one argument that I can definitely see. You know, and then of course on the other side you have these forums and threads where the whole objective is the easiest way of getting the trophies.
That's what it's like. On a website like PSN Profiles or Trophies.org or just whatever, even like Achievement Hunter, it's like someone says, "Oh, like here's a way to get this much quicker," and everyone's like, "How fucking dare you?"
Yeah.
The whole reason people are on these forums is that they're that niche within a niche, and this is where you go to like get your fill of that niche and to get, you know, tips, hints, explain, you know, okay, watch out for this, watch out for these missable trophies. Like the whole community is based on the premise of we all like getting trophies, and okay, there's little subsections in that. You've got your completionists, you've got your whores, the trophy whores that just can't get enough, and just so I find it kind of odd that, like, you know, I think it's just a case of the people that maybe got this trophy the legitimate way before this exploit became known. They're like, oh fuck, you know, I just wasted like 2 weeks, you know, and maybe it was like extra rewarding that way.
Of course.
And then, like, for me, like the main crux of the argument would be, okay, the Radalika games, yes, they're super short, they're easy, but you do them in a way legitimately. Even if it takes 16 seconds, it's like, well, you played it properly, you did your 16 seconds and you got your plat. Whereas Cuphead was designed in a way, and the trophy list, that no, you need to do this kind of more challenging like this should be a more challenging journey to the
Yes.
platinum,
Yeah.
and you kind of circumvent that. So it's kind of like no, that's not the way you're supposed to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's where the annoyance comes from. That look, you know what you're getting with a Radilica game,
Yeah.
but if you see Cuphead on your profile and you get the plat, it's like, no, I earned that, and then other
Yeah.
people want to know that, okay, that's like a badass plat, because as I said, the actual plat itself, it's almost irrelevant in terms of like the leaderboards of the more extreme ones,
Yeah.
and it's more based on the game itself. Like, it's the game that you look towards.
Yeah.
But that's kind of essentially what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you gotta play it the way it was intended, apparently.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that is uncommon either. You know, oftentimes games will come out at the start and they will be very, very challenging, and then they will bring out patches, for example, that make them a lot more accessible, easier.
Red Dead 2, recently enough.
Yes, yeah,
where
you
you can
mentioned
fast
that.
travel, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's games like Hollow Knight. I know that there was an exploit found in that where I think you could get invincibility or something. I haven't played that one myself either. But you know, I believe that was a similar situation where, you know, people had gone through, I think it's the gauntlet at the end, and then people found an invincibility cheat, you know. I would be of the opinion that it's definitely not, you know, it's definitely not something that someone should be, you know, banned for example, or anything like that. I think it definitely, I can definitely appreciate that it would devalue the rarity of the platinum, because of course it objectively does. You know, people are going to get it that otherwise will never have gotten it. But I think that, you know, the way that games are made, there's always going to be like holes there. There's always going to be glitches.
Yeah.
There's always going to be abusive mechanics that we can get around. And at the same time, you know, it's even difficult then to say, well, oh, I earned it the real way. Well, maybe you did. Maybe you used the exploit before anyone knew about it. You know,
before it was
knows?
hit. And then like the thing as well, like you know, games like The Last of Us 2, you can turn on every single accessibility option,
Yeah.
and that renders the plats super easy. Just you
Yeah.
can be invisible when prone, so you can just avoid every combat situation if you want.
Yes.
But then the whole issue of like the New Game Plus, but that's another video.
Yeah.
But look, where do you draw the line? Like, it's such like a hazy community as it is, as in like what makes a list legitimate. You know, what about PS2 games on PS4 that still have cheat codes?
Yes.
I mean, like, I destroy all humans, like invincibility, yes please. You know, like, just when you're cleaning up trophies, like, it's built within the game.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I don't know anymore. I just don't know.
I don't either. I think your point is very valid, though. It turns, you know, it has changed from, you know, maybe the PlayStation 3 games where a platinum was objectively a platinum. You know, there was it came with, you know, maybe a 30-hour game, and you know, playing it on the hardest difficulty. That landscape has been completely flipped upside down now. You know, there's you can get, I could get 5 platinums in the next 10 minutes if I really wanted to, you know, and there's no
one can stop me.
Just your wallet is all that
Yeah.
can stop you, you know. And oftentimes these games are going out on sale for, you know, $1, €1. You know, it's very, very accessible to get trophies now.
Throw them all in the trolley.
So I think your point about it becoming maybe more about just the game itself is now the kind of the key difference of a difficulty in the game, a difficulty in a trophy perspective, makes a lot of sense. It's just that no one's ever going to know that, you know. No one's ever going to go through the list individually and see.
Are we going to have to get like a feature that adds like a little note you can leave beside each of your trophies? Go, mate, did this legit, yo. Like, no saves coming for me, or like I really went through Cuphead the way it was meant to be played. You know, just to have little, you know, almost like just little like a bibliography at the end of
Yeah.
your list and your sources.
But I think, you know, probably the point that I would be most on board with is that, look, if you're having fun, you're having fun. If someone gets fun out of, you know, getting 4 platinums in one evening, great. You know, I'm all aboard with that. I don't mind people playing whatever games that they want to play
In the way they want to play it.
exactly, you know, that's it. And look, I think exploits are probably always going to be there. It's up to the developer and the publisher to you know, iron them out before release and then fix them with patches afterward.
I just think that in the trophy hunting community, like I would be a bit of a snob with my list, you know, like a bit of an elitist, you know. It's like, oh, only the good games for me, and I want to do it the proper way.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way I enjoy it.
Yes, yeah.
But if someone legitimately wants to spend a year's wages on Radalika games and just watch that number go up, if they're sitting there going, God, this is great,
Yeah.
like, I'm class,
But
you know what,
yeah.
more power to them.
Absolutely.
But I think that to kind of attack them or call them sad or just, you know, like,
That was the top comment on I think the Cuphead
yeah,
one.
it's like, look, we're all sad in our own little unique
Yeah.
way because we're
Try
all
explaining, you know, try explaining the difference between your Cuphead Platinum and,
Yeah.
and someone else's.
You know,
to someone on
it's
the
like,
street.
this is legitimate. You know, I did this. I trained for years, and I grinded for 6,000 hours, and I got this bronze trophy. You know, or like in GTA 4, Alvedizem Petrovic, I didn't even boost it. I waited until I got put in the lobby with the map I needed.
Yeah.
But who cares? It's still a bronze.
Yeah.
Wasted
That's
my
it.
life.
Yeah, you know, I think like you said, it's a niche within a niche within a niche, and
We all hate ourselves.
yeah.
And that's a good way to end it right there. Look, what do you think of the Cuphead exploit or the ethics of trophy hunting? Are you an elitist snob like myself, or a cheap trophy slut like this man right here?
Please make your decision now.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and